Very, very good morning to all of you, my friends. Welcome back. So, in the previous two sessions, we discussed the concepts of marginal costing. Let me give you a brief about what all we have discussed. So, let me give you a brief about what all I have discussed. We discussed marginal cost, that is the cost of producing additional unit. Thereafter, we discussed variable cost, that is the cost that varies according to production. We discussed fixed cost, that is the cost that remain fixed irrespective of production. Thereafter, we discussed the master chart of marginal costing, that is sales minus variable cost will get contribution, contribution minus fixed cost will get profit. Thereafter, we discussed PV ratio, that is profit volume ratio, wherein we discussed the formula and the concept. When talking about the formula, it's contribution divided by sales into 100. So contribution जो है हमारी sales का कितना percent है, it shows this PV ratio shows. Further, very important point that PV ratio, if the question is silent, PV ratio remain constant at all the level of sales. If the sales is increasing, we will assume that the units are increasing. If the sales is decreasing, we will assume that the units are decreasing. However, if question clearly states that there is a change in selling price per unit or variable cost per unit, yes, the PV ratio will change. Thereafter, we discuss the concept of break-even sales, wherein when talking about break-even sales, it is that level of sales where there is no profit or no loss, or we can say sales is equals to total cost. As far as the concepts is concerned and formulas are concerned, we have already discussed. Just let me give you a brief about the formula, what we have discussed. Wherein if you want to calculate break-even sales in rupees, it's fixed cost divided by PV ratio. If you want to calculate it in units, it is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Thereafter, we discussed the concept of desired sales. If the desired profit is given in the question, then how much will be the sales to earn desired profit? So we have discussed the concept also. When talking about the formula again, if you want to calculate desired sales in rupees, it is fixed cost plus desired profit divided by PV ratio. And if you want to calculate it in units, it is fixed cost plus desired profit divided by contribution per unit. Thereafter, we discuss the concept of margin of safety, that is safety margin, that is how much we are safe from the deadline of the business, or we can say how much we are safe from the break-even point. When talking about the formula, we have discussed that is actual sales minus break-even sales. And further, we can say profit divided by PV ratio. One more concept we discussed wherein if the two period figures are given and if you have to calculate PV ratio, the concept is very simple wherein the formula will be change in profit divided by change in sales into 100. So I hope you guys are thorough with the concept. There is a query from Ishan. Let me check. Okay, so I'll be answering all your questions one by one. If when selling price changes, do variable cost changes? No, dear. Selling price अगर change हो रहा है तो variable cost per unit क्यों change होगा? If some information is given in the question, then only variable cost will change. So whatever the instructions that are given in the question, Ishan, you have to follow. But yes, if there is any change in selling price per unit or variable cost per unit, yes, the PV ratio will change. I'll be discussing this part, don't worry. Okay, so if further there is a question, sir, how we will know that we have to calculate sales in units or in rupees if only sales value is written and not sales quantity? So here in the question, we will give you the clear instruction that you have to calculate break-even sales or desired sales in rupees or units. If the information is not given, if the question is silent, yet you have to calculate break-even sales. And if you can calculate both, that is units and value, then present it accordingly. I repeat again, Ishan, अगर क्वेश्चन में क्लियर इंस्ट्रक्शन है that you have to calculate break even sales in value or units, follow the instructions. If the question is silent and if you can calculate both, that is units and value, then do calculate both. Don't give any chance to the examiner to deduct marks. Better to solve to solve the complete question if the question is silent. Okay, Darshan. Thank you so much, Darshan. Yes, it is very easy. So, guys, let's proceed further. I hope you guys are thorough with the concept. Okay, in the previous session, I gave you a question. Let me open the question first. Okay, so in the previous session, I gave you a question wherein a manufacturer produces 2 lakh units of a product at a cost of 4.5 per unit. Later on, he produces 3,50,000 units at a cost of 4.2 per unit when its fixed overhead has decreased by 30%. So the marginal cost per unit and original fixed cost will be how much? So waiting for your answers, guys. This was the homework in the previous session. Okay, so I have got answer from Darshan. Okay, so I have got answer from Arunima. The answer to the last day question is variable cost and fixed cost. Yes, your answer is correct. Very good. Okay, I've got answer from Darshan also. Yes, Darshan, your answer is correct. Very good. Suman Banerjee, your answer is correct. Very good. Bhumika, in okay, one answer is correct, one is incorrect. Okay, Kavita, incorrect answer. Miss Geet, very good morning, my dear. Okay, Miduna, incorrect answer. Manisha, good morning. So, Sushil Kumar Barik, incorrect answer. Okay, so if there is no change in PV ratio and no change in fixed cost, then break-even point will not change. If there is any change in fixed cost or PV ratio, yes, the break-even sales will change. Okay, so Aishan, your answer is incorrect. Anyone else? Diksha Agarwal, Miss Singh, Rajiv Kumar, Sudhanshu. Komal Prajapati, anyone having, I think you have not posted the answer. Bhumika, yes, one answer is correct and one is incorrect. Okay, so incorrect answer, Miss Singh, Rajiv Kumar, Diksha Agarwal, very good, correct answer. Mr. Sankaran, Komal, Kiran Shukla, Farah Sayyed. So the solution to the question what I have discussed in the previous session. So let's assume that the variable cost per unit is X. Let's assume that the variable cost per unit is X and fixed cost per unit is Y. So in first case, 2 lakh units were manufactured and the total cost is 4.5 per unit. So 2 lakh units into X. These are the units and this is variable cost per unit. And the fixed cost is Y, sorry. Y. This should be equal to 2 lakh into 4.5. This will be 9 lakh. Further, in the second case, later on, he produced 3,50,000 units into X. Now, here in the second year, the variable fixed cost has decreased by 30%. So it means it will be 0.7Y should be equal to 3,50,000 into 4.2. So this will be 14,70,000. So now you have to equate. So what we will do is we'll multiply this by 0.7. So this will be 1,40,000 X plus 0.7 Y is equals to 6,30,000. Further 3,50,000 X plus 0.7 Y should be equal to 14,70,000. So minus, minus, minus. So 350 minus 140, this is minus 2,10,000 X should be equal to 8,40,000. So we can say X will be equal to 4. Further, if X is 4, that is my variable cost is 4. So substituting in equation 1, so 2 lakh into 4 plus Y is equals to 9 lakh. Therefore, the value of Y will be 1 lakh. A simple mathematics, guys. If anyone having any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your queries. The students, many students posted variable cost as 3.8. 1,40,000 fixed cost, it is incorrect. So for the first year, the fixed cost will be 1 lakh, and for the second year, it will be 70,000. So very good, everyone. Anyone having any doubts? Mr. Vishwanath Reddy, again, the question is very simple. Assume that the variable cost per unit is X and the fixed cost is Y. So my units are 2 lakh. So 2 lakh into X plus Y, it should be equal to 9 lakh. And 3,50,000 into X plus 70% of Y, because in the second year, the variable cost is reduced by 30%. It should be equal to 14,70,000. So this is a simultaneous equation. We can solve using simultaneous equation and we can get the answer. Anyone else having any doubts, queries? I request you guys to please copy the solution. Very good, Komal. So now I'm discussing one more question from study material, that is illustration number 4. So I request you guys to please open your study material. I'm discussing illustration number 4. $4.5 into 2 lakh, that is 9 lakh, and 3,50,000 into 4.2 is equals to 14,70,000. I request you guys to please open your study material. I'm discussing one question from study material, that is illustration number 4. So let's start with illustration number 4, that is PQR Limited. PQR Limited has furnished the following data for the 2 years, wherein the sales is given for 1920, but for 2021, the sales is not given. Further, profit volume ratio, that is 50% and 37.5%. So there will be some change in selling price per unit or variable cost per unit. So we need to check. Further, the margin of safety sales is percentage of total sales, that is 40% and 21.875%. So we need to check again. Now, further additional information is given in the question, wherein there has been a substantial saving in fixed cost in the year 2021. There has been a substantial saving in the fixed cost in the year 2021. So first and the foremost thing that they are saying that there is a change in fixed cost, because I think due to some efforts, or I think due to some technology improvement, they have saved fixed cost. So the fixed cost in 1920 and 2021 is changed. I mean, it's different. It's not same. The company could maintain its sales quantity level of 2019-20 in 2021 by reducing the selling price. So this change in PV ratio is due to change in selling price. However, there is no change in sales quantity. So we are required to calculate the sales for 2021. First thing, okay, fixed cost for 2021 in value and break-even sales for 2021. Okay. So herein, very important, the first point that is given in the question is that there is a change in fixed cost. First and the foremost thing is, in second year, there is a change in fixed cost. Further, very important point, no change in sales quantity. There is no change in sales quantity. And the third point that is given in the question is that there is a change in selling price. That's why the PV ratio is changing. So there is a change in selling price per unit. Therefore, PV ratio is not same. So this is the information that is given in the question. Now, the question is how to calculate the sales. So this question is very easy if you follow the instructions that are given in the question. These are the 3 important points. The first point is there is a change in fixed cost. Second point, the most important point, that there is no change in sales quantity. Further, there is a change in selling price per unit. That's why the PV ratio is changing. So now, very simple, guys. So here in 2019-20, my sales is 8 lakh and my PV ratio is 50%. So 2019 and 20, my sales is how much? 8 lakh. My variable cost will be 4 lakh. So my contribution will be 4 lakh. 4 lakh. Further, herein, the margin of safety sales is given, that is 40%. So we can easily calculate the profit, wherein my sales is 8 lakh, my margin of safety sales is 40%. So 4 lakh will be my margin of safety sales. If we multiply it with PV ratio, we'll get profit. So 8 lakh into 40%, that is 3 lakh 20,000 into 50%, that is 1 lakh 60,000 will be my profit. So my profit is 1 lakh 60,000. Therefore, this will be 2 lakh 40,000. So 2019-20, this much information is given in the question. Now herein, when talking about the required part, we have to first calculate the sales for 2021. Now very important, since there is no change in sales quantity, very important guys, since there is no change in sales quantity, and herein the PV ratio is changing, why? Due to change in selling price. It means what? The variable cost for 1920 will be same in 2021. Very, very important, guys. Since first and the foremost thing, there is no change in sales quantity. Secondly, the PV ratio is changing. Why? Due to change in selling price. So here in this case, there will be no change in variable cost for the year 2021. So herein, variable cost for 2021 will be same, that is my 4 lakh. Further, PV ratio is given, that is 37.5. So my variable cost will be how much? 62.5%. Therefore, my sales will be how much? 4 lakh divided by 62.5. So this will be 6 lakh 40. So here in my sales is 6 lakh 40,000. I have calculated. I'll prepare the statement also. So herein for 2021, my sales is 6 lakh 40,000. My variable cost is same, that is 4 lakh. My contribution will be 2 lakh 40,000. When talking about the profit part, minus fixed cost is what we call as profit. Again, when talking about the profit part, the margin of safety sales is 21.875. My total sales is 640 into 21.875% into my PV ratio, that is my new PV ratio, that is 37.5%. This will be 52,500. This will be 187,500. So here we can easily calculate the break-even sales also. That is fixed cost divided by PV ratio. So my fixed cost is 187,500 divided by my PV ratio, that is 37.5%. So we'll get the break-even sales. That is 5 lakh. If you guys have any doubts in the solution, you guys can please post your queries. I'll try to cover this question, Mr. Satya Lakshmi Sai Kumar. Okay, Krishna. So if my PV ratio is 37.5%, then my variable cost will be 62.5%. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your query, else we'll start with the next part of the chapter. This is, enough of discussion on this part. Okay, Miss. Okay, Mr. Sai Kumar, I'll try to cover this question in this session or next session. Let me check. So, Vaishali Bindal, again, my variable cost will not change. So, if variable cost is same and the PV ratio is given, we can easily calculate the sales. And further, if the sales we can calculate, then this question is very easy. The major point is that how to calculate the sales. So herein, okay, there is a query from Diksha Agarwal, sir, how to calculate the profit. So herein, my 6,40,000 is my total sales. So if we multiply it by 21.875, we will get the margin of safety sales. And if we multiply margin of safety sales with PV ratio, we will get profit, because the formula is profit divided by PV ratio. Yes, Vishal. So 100% is my sales and 37.5% is my PV ratio. So balance 62.5% will be my variable cost. I request you guys to please copy. I'm not getting what you're asking, Ishan. Please repost your query in detail. So enough of discussion on this question. So better let's start with the next concept. We are done with the basic part. Now let's start with few decision-making based questions and concepts. So let's start with the first concept, a very important concept, that is key factor or limiting factor. Now, let me discuss this concept with the help of an example. One second. Jyoti Jha, good morning, sir. I am LCC batch 6 students and passed both the group in first attempt. Get 50. Thank you so much and wish you many congratulations, Jyoti. I do remember you were regular in the previous session, so many congratulations and wish you good luck for finals. Yes, Bhumika, sir, we can take actual sales as 100%. Yes, Bhumika, actual sales is 100%. Further, if margin of safety is 21.875%, then the balance will be my break-even sales. So now let's start with the key factor or limiting factor. Let me discuss this with the help of a concept. Let's say I do manufacture 3 types of product: X, Y, and Z. I do manufacture 3 types of product: X, Y, and Z. And let's say my selling price per unit is 100, 100, and 100. Further, my variable cost is, let's say, 60, 70, and 80. So my contribution will be how much? 40, 30, and 20. Now, let's take a situation wherein, let's say, my annual requirement of raw material is 1,50,000 kgs. To manufacture these 3 products, the annual requirement of raw material is 1,50,000 kgs. I repeat again, let's take a situation wherein the annual requirement of raw material, I'm requiring raw material annually, my requirement for raw material annually is 1,50,000 kgs. Now, let's say due to some strike or due to some or other reasons, the supplier is not being able to provide me my desired quantity. I repeat again, let's say due to COVID lockdown, everything is shut down and my supplier is not being able to provide me my desired quantity, but somehow, somewhere, he arranges 60,000 kgs. Somewhere, somehow, he arranges 60,000 kgs of raw material. I repeat again, guys, my annual requirement of raw material is 1,50,000. Let's say due to COVID lockdown, say many restrictions were imposed, and my supplier said that max to max I can provide you 60,000 kgs of raw material. So herein, this 60,000 kgs is what? This 60,000 kgs is what? The resource that is available in limited quantity. There is a limited supply of a resource. So that herein, in this case, since this raw material is in, we have a very limited quantity of raw material. So this raw material is known as the key factor. So what is key factor or limiting factor? वो resource, either it can be machine hours, it can be labor hours, it can be raw material, वो resource जो हमारे पास limited quantity में available है. There is a scarcity of resource. So that resource is known as the key factor or limiting factor. So I repeat again, guys, herein when talking about the key factor or limiting factor, वो resource जो हमारे पास बहुत limited quantity में available है. There is a scarcity of resources. It can be either machine hours, it can be either labor hours also, it can be raw material also, anything. So the annual requirement is approx, let's say 1,50,000 kgs, but the supplier is going to provide me only 60,000 kgs, either due to some COVID restrictions or whatever the reason. So herein, very important, the 60,000 kgs of raw material is what? My key factor. Now, very important, what will be my major object? Since my raw material is in limited supply, so what will be my major object? To use each and every quantity of raw material in such a way so that I can get the maximum profit. What will be my object? Since raw material is limited, so my object will be to utilize raw material in such a way that I get maximum profit. I have to utilize this raw material in such a way that मुझे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा profit. Now let's say some additional information is given in the question. Some additional information is given in the question. So this is contribution per unit. Some additional information is given in the question. Let's say raw material per unit. Raw material per unit is given. To manufacture every unit, the quantity that is required is given in the question. Let's say to manufacture product X, we need 10 kgs. Let's say to manufacture product Y, we need 5 kgs. And to manufacture product Z, we need 4 kgs. I repeat again, to manufacture product X, we need 10 kgs. To manufacture product Y, we need 5 kgs. And to manufacture product Z, we need 4 kgs. Now, in such a way that I get the maximum profit, or we can say the company get maximum profit. So herein, I repeat again, guys, I'm manufacturing 3 types of product, X, Y, and Z. Selling price is 100, 100, and 100. Variable cost is 60, 70, and 80. Further, my contribution, we have calculated that is 40, 30, and 20. Herein, my annual requirement of raw material is, let's say, 1,50,000. But let's say due to COVID restriction, my supplier is able to provide me only 60,000 kgs of raw material. He says that, sir, I can provide this much quantity only. Now, herein, this resource this resource that is raw material is in limited quantity, limited supply. So this raw material is the key factor in this case. Now, what will be my major object? What will be my object? To utilize each and every kg of raw material in such a way so that I can get maximum profit. Now, herein the raw material required per unit is also given in the question, that is 10 kgs for X, 5 kgs for Y, and Z it is 4 kgs. So can you guys tell me कौन सा product manufacture करना चाहिए? Can you guys advise me which product we should manufacture so that we can get the maximum profit? Waiting for your answers, guys. Can you guys advise me which product I should manufacture so that I can get the maximum profit? Herein, my raw material is in limited quantity. So waiting for your answer. Okay, so I've got answer from Ishan, That is, it is advisable to manufacture product Z. Well said, Ishan, because 4 kgs requirement hai. So it is advisable. I'm not sure about your answer. Let other post the answers. So waiting for your answer, waiting for your advice, which product I should manufacture so that I can get the maximum profit. Okay, so I've got answer from opinion from, in fact, not answer, opinion. Sudhanshu, so Miduma. So I've got answer from Ishan, that is Z. Sudhanshu, that is Y. And Miduna, that is X. So I've got answer from a different answer from 3 students. Rest all waiting for your answers, guys. Vishal, Diksha, Varsha, Vishali, Krishna, Mr. Sai Kumar, Sushil Kumar, Barik, Komal Prajapati, Bhumika, Darshan. Okay, so I've got answer from Vishali. Okay, Vishali, Darshan, Diksha, Ms. Singh, Rajiv Kumar, Komal, Krishna, Ishan. Okay, so I think Ishan has changed the answer. Ishan now has switched to X. Okay, Varsha, Z. Okay, so Sushil Kumar, Barik, product X, because I think contribution is more. Okay, Rushita, I've got your answer. Very good morning, Rushita. Sudhanshu, I think your answer is correct. Let me discuss this part. Okay. Please do post your answer along with the explanation also why you have selected a particular product, that is X, Y, or Z. So waiting for your answer with your explanation. Giving you 2 minutes time, read the question patiently, and then advise me that this product I should manufacture along with the reason that why I should manufacture. Okay, I've got answer from Nehal Patel also, Komal Prajapati, Arunima Sinha. So Vaishali has posted the explanation also. Sudhanshu has posted the explanation. Arya, okay. Sushil Kumar Barik, again waiting for your explanation also why we should manufacture product X, Y, or Z. I understand you have posted the answer X, Y, Z, but yes, do post your answer along with the explanation, giving you 2 minutes time. Okay, Ishan, very good, your answer is correct. Miduna, very good, your answer is correct. Now this time. Very good, Nehal, Diksha. Okay, so you have given your opinion, not explanation, Diksha. Anyways, very good. Very good, Kavita. Your answer is correct. Okay, so I've got answer from Darshan. Very good, Darshan. Very good, Arunima. Very good. Okay, Sushil. Okay, very good, Khushi Gupta. Yes, Bhumika, waiting for your answer. Arunima. Okay, so Miduna, sir, if 10 kgs of raw materials given 2 units. Okay. So, okay, guys, now it's my time. So, guys, herein, very important point. अगर normal situation होती, very simple, guys. If it is a normal situation, then it is advisable to manufacture product X because the contribution is high. But herein, very important, guys, herein the raw material is in limited supply. Raw material जो है हमारे पास बहुत limited quantity में available है. So herein our object or more focus will be on raw material. Most of us will focus on raw material only because our major object is to utilize each and every kg of raw material in such a way so that we can get the maximum profit. So herein, what we can see is we are getting a contribution of rupees 40 per unit. But since my raw material is in limited supply, so my decision will be entirely based on raw material. So we are earning 40 rupees from 10 kgs of raw material. If we use 10 kgs of raw material, we are earning how much? Rupees 40. So we can say contribution per kg of raw material will be how much? Contribution per kg of raw material will be how much? 40 divided by 10, that is 4. Further, in the second case, we are using 5 kgs of raw material and we are getting a contribution of rupees 30. So, for 1 kg, for every kg, how much profit I am getting again in this case? 6. Again, we are using 4 kgs and the contribution is 20. So, every kg, how much profit I am getting? Rupees 5. So we are getting the maximum profit while if we do manufacture product Y. So it is advisable to manufacture product Y. Why? Because since the raw material is in limited supply, so our decision will be entirely based on the requirement of raw material along with the contribution. So here my contribution per kg of raw material is highest in case of Y. So it is advisable to first manufacture Y. Then if the demand is fulfilled for Y, then we will manufacture Z, and then last priority will be given to X. I hope this part is clear to all. Okay, so Bhumika, Ms. Singh, Rajiv Kumar, Utkarsh Singh, Komal, then Miduna. I hope your concept is clear. Your answers were incorrect because most of you guys posted X. So here X is incorrect because X should be taken in the last priority, because if we use 10 kgs of raw material, how much profit we are getting? Rupees 40. So per kg profit, how much I am getting? Rupees 4. So it is not advisable to manufacture X. The best option is that we should first manufacture Y. If the market demand is fulfilled for Y, then we will proceed with manufacturing product X, and the third priority will be given to manufacture product X. Anyone having any doubts? Bhumika, Ms. Singh, Rajiv Kumar, Utkarsh, Khushi Gupta, Sushil Kumar Barik. Ishan Best, Komal, Varsha, Krishna, Diksha. Okay. So here is very simple. We are getting a contribution of rupees 40 per unit. If we use 10 kgs, 40 rupees for 10 kg. So per kg, how much I'm getting? 40 divided by 10, that is 4. 30 divided by 5, that is 6. 20 divided by 4, that is 5. We are earning 20 rupees by using 4 kgs. 4 kgs use karte to 20 rupees we do earn. So per kg, how much I'm earning? Rupees 5. Okay, boom. Yes, I think. Yes. Sorry, Bhumika. Your answer is correct. So it is advisable to manufacture product Y only if there is an unlimited demand of a particular product. I request you guys to please copy this explanation. I'll be erasing it this part because I'll be needing more space to write. So I request you guys. I'll advise you, Utkarsh, don't worry. I request you guys to please copy this part. That is, since raw material is in limited supply, or I mean, since raw material is limited, so my object will be to utilize the raw material in such a way so that my company get maximum profit. I request you guys to please copy this part. You can easily score 70 plus marks Utkarsh. The point is, first and the foremost thing, refresh your concept because you have posted incorrect answer. So refresh your concept. Check my recorded lectures over YouTube. You will be able to understand the concepts in detail. Further, try to solve as maximum as possible questions in writing. It will help you to develop the speed also, and along with you'll be more clear with the concepts. So that is what my advice. Anyways, so it is advisable to manufacture product Y first, then product Z, and then product X. Now, very important. Can you guys tell me that how much units we can manufacture for product Y? Let's assume that there is unlimited demand for all the products. Let's take the first situation wherein there is unlimited demand of all the products. We can manufacture and sell n number, and I mean any quantity in the market of product X, Y, or Z. So can you guys tell me how much quantity we can manufacture of product Y? Waiting for your answers. How much quantity I can manufacture for product Y? Quick. The answer is that we know that we maybe will manufacture product Y. How much quantity we can manufacture of product Y? Waiting for your answer. Very good, Darshan. Very good, Diksha. Very good, Nehan. Your answers are correct. Okay, I've got answer from Kavita. How can we manufacture X and Z? Sushil Kumar Barik. Let me check. So herein, when talking about how much quantity we can manufacture of product Y, since we have 60,000 kgs of raw material and every unit require 5 kg. We have 60,000 kgs of raw material and for every unit we need 5 kg. So max to max, how many units we can manufacture of product Y? 12,000 units of product. So there is unlimited demand of all the products. So since contribution per kg of raw material is highest in case of Y, therefore we will manufacture 12,000 units of product Y. How come 12,000? Very simple. That is, raw material available is 60,000 kgs and every unit require 5 kgs of raw material. So we'll manufacture 12,000 units of product Y. Very good, Bhumika. Now, so if there is unlimited demand of all the product, we will manufacture product Y since the contribution per kg of raw material is highest in case of Y. And when talking about the number of units manufactured for product Y, this will be 12,000. So this is the first situation. Let's take the second situation wherein there is limited demand of every product. So let's say maximum demand is given. This much units only we can sell in the market. Let's say 5,000 units in case of X, 5,000 units in case of Y, and 5,000 units in case of Z. There is a maximum demand. It is given in the question that max to max we can manufacture and sell only 5,000 units of a particular product. So here in this case, in this case, my raw material availability is how much? My raw material that is available is how much? 60,000 kgs. Now, the maximum demand for every product is up to 5,000 units only. So we will first fulfill the demand of Y because herein the maximum profit what we are getting is from Y only. So herein we will first manufacture product Y. How much quantity we will manufacture? Full 5,000 units of product Y. Again, the raw material consumed in case of Y will be how much? 25,000 kgs. Now we have still 35,000 kgs in hand. So now we'll proceed. Since the demand of Y is fulfilled, thereafter we'll proceed to manufacture product Z. Here the demand is 5,000 and the raw material per kg is 4. Sorry, the raw material per unit is 4. So the total raw material required will be how much? Again 20,000. So herein the demand of Z will also be fulfilled. So we'll thereafter manufacture product Z, that is 5,000 into 4, that is 20,000 will be used in manufacturing product Z. So we are left out with only 15,000 kgs of raw material and that will be utilized to manufacture X. Herein, to manufacture X, we need how much? 5,000 into 10, 50,000 kgs. But herein we have only 15,000 kgs in our hand. So we can max to max manufacture how many units? 15,000 divided by 10, that is for product X. We can manufacture only 1,500 units. Product X 1,500 into 10, that is 15,000. So this will be easy. So this is how the raw material of 60,000 kgs will be utilized. Wherein, very simple guys, since we are getting the maximum profit in case of Y. So first Y will be manufactured. Product Y will be manufactured. That is entire 5,000 units will be manufactured. That is 5,000 into the raw material required per unit, that is 5. So 25,000. So after utilizing 25,000 kgs to manufacture product Y, we are left out with 35,000 kgs. Now, thereafter we'll proceed to manufacture product Z, because again the second highest profit we will be getting only from product Z. So product Z we will manufacture, again try to manufacture 5,000 units into 4. Herein again this demand is also fulfilled, because still we are left out with 15,000 kgs. Now this 15,000 kgs will be utilized to manufacture product X. So per unit requires 10 kgs and we have 15,000 kgs. So we can manufacture at the most 1,500 units only for product X. So accordingly we'll manufacture product X. Very good. So when talking about, okay, so there is a query from Krishna. So Krishna, when talking about the first answer, there is unlimited demand of all the products. So since contribution per kg of raw material is highest in case of Y, so we will manufacture 12,000 units of product Y. So herein, when talking about the second question again, this is the way we will manufacture the products Y, Z, and X. Now, when talking about the contribution also, we can easily calculate. The contribution also we can easily calculate. X we have manufactured 1,500 units, Y 5,000 units, and Z 5,000 units. Now, these are the units manufactured, and the per unit contribution is how much? 40, 30, and 20. So the total contribution will be now, if you guys have any doubts, any queries in this part, you guys can please post your query. Waiting for your queries, guys. Giving you 2 minutes time. I request you guys to please check the solution and then do post your queries. So here, when talking about the first part, there is unlimited quantity demand of all the products. Then since the contribution per kg of raw material is highest in case of Y, so we'll manufacture only product Y, that is, we'll manufacture 12,000 units of product Y. When talking about the second part, we have 60,000 kgs of raw material in hand. So my first priority will be to manufacture the complete demand of product Y, that is 5,000 into the requirement of raw material is 5 per kg. So 25,000 kgs will be utilized in manufacturing product Y. So we'll be left out with 35,000 kgs. Then we'll fulfill the demand for product Z, that is 5,000 units into 4 kg per unit. So 20,000 kgs will be utilized in manufacturing product Z. So we are left out with 15,000 kgs that will be utilized to manufacture product X, and total 1,500 units will be manufactured for product X. Anyone else having any doubts? Vishali, Arunima, Krishna, Rushita, Bhumika, Kavita, Varsha, Sushil, Komal, Miduna, Darshan, any doubts? So let's take one more situation. Wherein the minimum demand is also given. It means इतने units तो आपको manufacture करने ही है. That is 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. The information is given in the question that at least 2,000 units you have to manufacture of all the products, that is X, Y, and Z. So what we will do is we will first fulfill the minimum demand. So we will first fulfill the minimum demand. So when talking about the third part, we will first fulfill the minimum demand, that is raw material we have in our hand is 60,000 kgs. So we will first fulfill the minimum demand of X, Y, and Z. That is 2,000 units. We have to manufacture of every product into the raw material required per unit, that is 10, 5, and 4. So this will be 38,000. So still we are left out with 22,000 kgs. I repeat again, since the minimum demand and maximum demand are given, so we will first fulfill the minimum demands of all the three products, that is X, Y, and Z, that is 2,000, 2,000, and 2,000, and the raw material required is 10 kgs, 5 kgs, and 4 kgs. So 10, 5, and 4. So here in 20,000 plus 10, 30 plus 8, 38,000. So still we are left out with 22,000 units. Sorry, 22,000 kgs. So now of this 22,000 kgs, we will first fulfill the demand of product Y. So we'll manufacture product Y. Now, out of 5,000, 2,000 is already fulfilled. So we are left out with 3,000. So 3,000 units of product Y into 5 kgs. That is 15,000. Still we are left out with 7,000 kgs. Still, we are left out with 7,000 kg, so it will be utilized to manufacture product Z. So here, when talking about fulfilling the balance demand, see 3,000 units we can manufacture for product Z into 4. So 12,000 is the requirement. Do we have 12,000 in our hand? No, we don't have 12,000. We have only 7,000 kgs in our hand. So per unit requirement is 4 kgs and we have 7,000 kgs. So how much units we can manufacture? One 750 only. So for product Y, product Z, we can manufacture 1750 units only into 4 kgs. So 7,000. So here, when talking about the calculation of contribution, very simple, guys. For X, we have manufactured 2,000 units and the contribution per unit is 40. For Y, we have manufactured 2,000 units plus 3,000 units. So entire 5,000 units and the contribution per unit is 30. And for Z, again 2,000 units for the minimum demand and 1750 the balance unit. So 3750 units we have manufactured for product Z and the per unit is 20. So my total contribution will be, in this case, will be 2,000 into 40, 5,000 into 30, and 3750 into 20. This will be 3,05,000. So very simple, guys. If the minimum demand is given, we will first fulfill the minimum demand. If the minimum demand is given, then we'll first fulfill the minimum demand. Thereafter, the balance raw material that is left out, we will utilize in that product which gives the highest contribution per kg of raw material in this question. So here in 2,000 units, we have already manufactured for product Y. Max to max we can manufacture is 3,000. So herein we'll try to manufacture product Y 3,000 units, 3,000 into 5. We have sufficient raw material in hand. So herein after manufacturing product Y, we are left out with 7,000 kgs that will be utilized in manufacturing product Z. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your query. Further giving you 7 to 8 minutes time, I request you guys to please copy this explanation and do write your working. Do write your comments that what you have understood from this part. So make it a habit. एक habit बना लीजिए कि अगर कोई concept समझ में आया है तो do write your comments or notes on it. It will help you while revising exams. बार बार आप lecture नहीं सुन सकते. So better write it in your notebook that what you have understood. So giving you 5 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, 5 minutes time at least. Please do copy. Write your explanation in your notebook. Please do write your explanation in your notebook. Utkarsh Singh, my dear, we have to fulfill the minimum demand. Minimum demand हमें fulfill करना ही होता है. We have to fulfill the minimum demand. So that's why I have first completed the minimum demand. Yes, Utkarsh. So the first part, if there is unlimited demand, then this is the solution. Second part, when there is only maximum demand, so this is the solution. And for the third part, that is maximum demand and minimum demand, both are given, then this is the solution. Anyone else having any doubts? Waiting for your queries, guys. Nehal, any doubts? Kavita, Arunima, Rushita, any doubts? Kushi Gupta, Komal, any doubts? So, Komal, when talking about product Y, we have already fulfilled the minimum demand of 2000 units. So, total demand 5000 units का उसमें minimum demand 2000 fulfill कर दिया है. So, balance 3000 units we will manufacture for product Y. So, guys, enough of discussion on this part. Let's take a break of 15 minutes. We'll be back after 15 minutes with the remaining part of the chapter. So let's take a break of 15 minutes. Welcome back, my friends. So I hope you guys are thorough with the concept of key factors. Still, if you guys have any doubts, you guys can please post your queries. Now, in this question, my raw material was my limiting factor. So my decision was based on contribution per kg of raw material. Now, the raw material was my limiting factor. So my decision was based on contribution per kg of raw material. Let's take one more situation. What if in case if my labor hours are limiting factor? Let's say labor hours are in limited supply or there is a scarcity of labor workforce. So labor hours are in limited supply. So here in my decision will be based on contribution per labor hour. Let's say if we have a limitation of machine hours, then our decision will be based on contribution per machine hour. Further, if the sales value is limiting factor, that is इतने रुपए से ज्यादा हम लोग सेल्स ही नहीं कर सकते, the sales value is the limiting factor, then again अपना decision will be based on PV ratio. That is, the product with the highest PV ratio will be first manufactured and so on. Further, if the sales quantity is limited, if the sales quantity is the limiting factor, that is इतने यूनिट से ज्यादा आप मार्केट में सेल ही नहीं कर सकते. So herein, when talking about if the sales quantity is the limiting factor, our decision will be based on contribution per unit. So the ranks will be assigned on the following basis. That is, that if it is raw material, then contribution per kg of raw material. If it is labor hours, then it will be contribution per hour. If it is machine hour, then it will be contribution per machine hour. If the sales value is the limiting factor, then our ranks will be assigned on the basis of PV ratio. And if the sales quantity is the limiting factor, then contribution per unit will be the basis of decision. If you guys have any doubts or queries in this part, you guys can please post your query. Else we'll start with the next concept. Further, I request you guys to please copy this explanation. Now, I have uploaded few questions over the portal. I request you guys to please download the notes because I'll be discussing now the question from my notes. So I request you guys to please download the notes from the portal. I request you guys to please download the notes that I have provided over the portal. I'm sharing the screen for your reference. I'm discussing question number first now. So for your reference, those who are not being able to download, I request you guys to please take the screenshot. I'm discussing question number 1. I'm discussing question number 1. So I request you guys to please download the notes. Those who are not being able to download, I request you to please take the screenshot for the same. Manish sir, are you there? Manish sir, are you there? Admin sir? Manish sir, are you there? So the notes are uploaded over portal, na? Okay. Just keep the session on hold for 2 minutes, sir. Sorry for the break, guys. I request you guys to please, I think there are some technical issues. I request you guys to please take the screenshot of question number 1. I request you guys to please take the screenshot of question number 1. A newspaper is presently selling 1 lakh copies of its morning daily. I request you guys to please take the screenshot. There are some technical issues. That's why the notes are not showing over the portal. So let's start, guys. A newspaper presently sells 1 lakh copies of its morning daily and it wants to publish evening daily. The particulars are as given below, wherein the selling price, variable cost, and fixed cost are given. Very important part, the sales of morning daily will fall at the rate of 1 copy of every 10 copies sold of evening daily. Calculate the break-even sales for evening daily per week. So waiting for your answers, guys, of question number 1. I'm discussing few questions. The key factor is over. So let's discuss few more questions for better clarity of concepts. So herein, I request you guys to please post your answer. I'm discussing question number 1. A newspaper presently sells 1 lakh copies of its morning daily. It wants to publish evening daily. The particulars are given wherein the selling price, variable cost, and the fixed cost are given. Further, the sales of morning daily will fall at the rate of 1 copy of every 10 copies sold of evening daily. Calculate the break-even sales for evening daily per week. So waiting for your answers, guys. Waiting for your answers on question number 1, guys. Quick. I hope you guys have taken the screenshot. You guys have to calculate the break-even sales of evening daily. Yes, Darshan, Bhumika, Rushita, Komal, be quick. Question number 1, a newspaper sell 1 lakh copies of its morning daily. It want to publish evening daily. The particulars are given wherein the selling price, variable cost and fixed cost is given. Further, the sales of morning daily will fall at the rate of 1 copy for every 10 copies sold of evening daily. So waiting for your answers, guys. Calculate the break-even sales for evening daily per week. So let's start with question number 1, that is calculation of break-even sales. So herein we have to calculate the break-even sales for evening daily. I've got answer from Suman Banerjee. I think your answer is incorrect, Suman. Rest all waiting for your answers. Selling price is given, that is 0.50 per paper. Variable cost is given, that is 0.22 per paper. Now here in this question, it is given that the sales of morning daily will fall at the rate of 1 copy of every 10 copies sold of evening daily. मतलब कि for every 10 copies sold of evening daily, the sale of morning daily will fall by one copy. So herein the opportunity cost is also involved. So in case of morning daily, my selling price is 2 rupees. My variable cost is 1.20. So my contribution per copy will be 0.80. Arya, your answer is incorrect, my dear. Now it is given that for every 10 copies of evening daily, there will be a loss of 1 copy of morning daily. For every 10 copies, on sale of every 10 copies of evening daily, there will be a loss of 1 copy of morning daily. And on every copy, we earn a contribution of 80 paisa. I repeat again, for every 10 copies sold of evening daily, there will be a loss of 1 copy of morning daily. There will be a loss of 1 copy of morning daily. It means we are losing a contribution of 80 paisa on sale of 10 copies. So we can say for per copy, how much I'm losing? 8 paisa. So this is what my opportunity cost. So this will also be deducted. That is 0.08. So my contribution will be how much? 0.20. And further, my fixed cost for break-even sales, the formula is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. So herein my fixed cost is 50,000 and my contribution per unit is 0.20. Sorry, my fixed cost is 10,000 and contribution is 0.20. So this will be 50,000 copies per week. So this will be my break-even sales. If you guys have any doubts or queries in this part, you guys can please post your queries. Waiting for your queries, guys. So Danshu Shekhar, when talking about the calculation of opportunity cost, very simple. Herein, when talking about morning daily, my selling price is 2 rupees. Variable cost is 1 rupees 20 paisa. So contribution per copy will be 80 paisa. Now on sale of 10 copies of evening daily, there is a loss of 1 copy of morning daily. It means for every 10 copies of evening daily, we are losing 80 paisa. So for 1 copy of evening daily, per copy of evening daily, we are losing 8 paisa. That is 80 paisa for 10 copies. So for 1 copy, 8 paisa. So 8 paisa is my opportunity cost. Yes, Vishali, any doubts? Kavita, any doubts? I request you guys to please copy the solution. Now, let's discuss one more question of the material what I have provided. I think the notes are available over the portal, but still I'm sharing the screen for your reference, those who have not downloaded. So I'll be discussing question number 5. The details of output. I'm discussing question number 5 of the material what I have provided. I request you guys to please take the screenshot for the same. The details of the output presently available from a manufacturing department of Kunal Synthetics Limited are as follows, wherein the average output per week is 48,000 units from 160 employees. The saleable value of the output is 6 lakh rupees and contribution made by output towards fixed expenses and profit is 2,40,000 rupees. So this is the current scenario. Herein, the board of the director plan to introduce more automation in the department at a capital cost of 1,60,000. The effect of this will be to reduce the number of employees from 120. Reduce the number of employees to 120 but to increase the output per individual by 60%. So herein, the number of employees has been reduced from 160 to 120. However, the output per individual has increased by 60%. To provide the necessary incentive to achieve the increased output, the board intend to offer 1% increase in piece rate of 1 rupee per article for every 2% increase in average individual output achieved. Again, this line is very important. I repeat again, to provide a necessary incentive to achieve the increased output, the board intend to offer a 1% increase in piece rate of 1 rupees per article for every 2% increase in average individual output achieved. So currently, the piece rate is 1 rupees per article. Currently, the piece rate is 1 rupees per article. Now they are planning to give incentive that is for every 2% increase in output per individual, the incentive will be 1%. I repeat again, currently the piece rate is rupees 1 per article. Now they are planning to give the incentive wherein for every extra output, for every extra 2% output, 1% will be the input. So herein, in this question, there is an increase in productivity by 60%. So there will be an incentive of how much? 30%. That is 1 rupees plus 30%. That is 1 rupees 30 paisa will be the revised piece rate. So now you are required to calculate the extra weekly contribution resulting from the proposed change and evaluate for the board information the worth of the project. So let's start with this question number 5. So let's prepare the income statement, that is current income statement. Yes. So we'll start with the income statement. That is, the sales value of the output is 2,60,000. Sorry, the sales value is 6 lakh rupees. Variable cost and contribution. My contribution is 2,40,000. So my variable cost will be 3,60,000. So this is the current contribution I'm getting. Now herein, let's start with the proposed statement, that is revised income statement. So let's start with revised income statement. Herein, the current output is 48,000 units. Now there is an increase in output. Further, they have reduced the number of employees. So, notes. Calculation of output. Now, current output per employee is how much? Very simple, guys. 48,000 units divided by 160 employees. So 48,000 units divided by 160 employees. So the current output is 300 units. So the current output per employee is 300 units. So now, after the change, after the proposed change, the output will be how much? Very simple, guys. 300 units plus 60%, there is an increase in productivity. So the output per employee will be how much? 300 plus 60%. So this will be 480 units per employee into the number of employees. That is, the number of employees will be how much now? 120. So the output will be how much in aggregate? 120 into 480 units. So this will be 57,600. If you guys have any doubts in this calculation, you guys can please post your query. So the revised output is 57,600. So now we can calculate the sales value. That is, the selling price will be how much? 48,000, 6 lakh divided by 48,000. That will be my selling price per unit. So 6 lakh is the selling price for 48,000 units. So for 57,600, my selling price will be 7,20,000. My variable cost, excluding incentive, will be how much? Again, 3,60,000 for 48,000 units. 3,60,000 for 48,000 units. So for 57,600 units, how much? 4,32,000. Further, when talking about incentive, they are giving an incentive of 30%. So herein, the current piece rate, is 1 rupees. Now, it is given in the question that for every 2% increase, 1% will be the incentive. So herein, there is an increase in productivity of 60%. So again, the incentive will be, there is an increase in productivity by 60%. So my incentives will be how much? 30%. That is 30%. So revised piece rate will be 1.3. This will be my revised piece rate. Now 1 rupees is already included in the variable cost. 1 rupees is anyways included in the variable cost. So we have to record only 30 paisa as incentive in this part. So herein, my incentive will be how much? 57,600 into 0.3. Because 1 rupees is already included in the variable cost. So 57,600 into 0.3. This will be 17,280. So my incentive will be so here we can calculate the contribution. That is 7,20,000 minus 4,32,000 minus 17,280. One second, guys. Okay, the selling price is reduced by 4%. Sorry. Selling price is reduced by 4%. To sell the increased output, it will be necessary to decrease the selling price by 4%. So 6 lakh is the selling price for 48,000 units. So for 57,600, the selling price will, the total sales will be 7,20,000 minus 4%. So this will be 6,91,200. So my contribution will be how much? 691,200 minus 4,32,000 minus 17,280. So this will be 2,41,920. This will be my contribution. So herein the extra weekly contribution will be how much? $1,920. When talking about the sales value, how I have calculated the sales value, that is 6 lakh is for 48,000 units into 57,600 units into 96%. This is how the sales value is calculated. If you guys have any doubts or queries in this part, then you guys can please post your query. Okay, so Vishali Bindal, how come variable cost? Again, the calculation is very simple. One second. When talking about the variable cost, very simple, guys. 3,60,000 is the variable cost for 48,000 units. So for 57,600 units, how much? This is how my variable cost is calculated. When talking about the incentive part, it is given in the question that for every 2% increase in average individual output per employee, there will be an incentive of 1%. So the output per individual has increased by 60%. It means the incentive should be how much? 30%. So currently the piece rate is 1 rupees per article and the incentive is 30%. So the revised piece rate will be how much? 1.3. Now this one is already included in the variable cost. Out of this 1.3, one is already included in variable cost. So 0.3, the incentive will be how much? That is 57,600 units into 0.3 is the incentive. So this is how I got 17,280. If you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your query. Again, capital cost is to be ignored, Sudhanshu. Since the rate of depreciation is not given in the question, so we will ignore the capital cost. We do consider only variable cost for calculating profit. Many congratulations, Manisha. You have scored superb. I mean, you have got exemption in costing. I think I've passed both the groups. Very good, Manisha. Many congratulations. Congratulations for your exemption and congratulations for passing both the groups. Wish you good luck for the finals, Manisha. So if you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your queries. I request you guys to please copy the solution. Sudhanshu, hopefully your query is resolved. Vaishali, any doubts? Suman, Arya, Sudhanshu? Vaishali, hopefully your query is resolved. Okay, Bhumika. So herein, when talking about the current piece rate is 1 rupees, the current piece rate is 1 rupees per article. Now it is given in the question that for every 2% increase in average individual output, there is 1% incentive. So per individual output has increased by how much? 60%. So there is a per individual increase in output is 60%. So the incentive will be how much? 30%. So here in the piece rate is 1 rupees. The incentive is 30%. Why 30%? For every 2% increase in output, 1% is the incentive. So 60% increase in output, so 30% is the incentive. So here in the incentive is 30%. So 1 plus 30%, this will be 1.3. 1920 is what my extra weekly contribution. Earlier, my contribution was 2,40,000, and due to this change, my contribution has increased by 1920, that is 1,920. Current now, after revision or after proposed change, my contribution will be 2,41,920. So 1920, that is 241,920 minus 2,40,000. This is what my extra weekly contribution. Anyone else having any doubts? Yes, Darshan, Komal, any doubts? Vishali, Sushil Kumar? Varsha, any doubts? Okay, Mr. Abe. So herein, I repeat again, it is given in the question. See, let me read out the question. See, to provide necessary incentive to achieve the increased output, the board offered to intend 1% increase in piece rate of 1 rupees per article for every 2% increase in average individual output. So, in simple terms, guys, in simple terms, my dear, in simple terms, there is an increase in output by 60% per individual. That is, हर इंडिविजुअल जो है वो एक्स्ट्रा 60% आउटपुट जनरेट कर रहे हैं. So it means for every 60% output, 30% will be the incentive. Since it is given in the question, for every 2% increase in output, 1% will be the incentive. So this is how I got 30%. And currently the piece rate is 1 rupees per article plus the incentive, that is 30%, will be getting 1.3. Okay, Ms. Vaishali Bindal, this 1 rupees is already included in this variable cost because the current piece rate is rupees 1. That is included in this variable cost also, in this variable cost also. So 0.3, that is the incentive part, is not included in this variable cost. That's why I have taken this incentive calculation separately. I hope, Abhay, your query is resolved. So guys, that's it for the day. Thank you so much for your time and patience and for active participation in the session. See you on Saturday with the last session of marginal costing. I'll be discussing few questions from study material plus few more concepts relating to make and buy or sales mix related questions. So be ready with all the concepts. Do revise what I have discussed in these 2 sessions. I'll be putting a few more questions in front of you guys. So be ready for the next session. Do revise what I have discussed. Try to solve the questions of study material. You will be able to solve the questions now. So try to solve all the questions of study material and past practice manual. If you find anything difficult, you can do post your queries on marginal costing in the next session. I'll be discussing few concepts, then I'll try to address all your queries. So I request you to please try to solve all the questions of study material and past practice manual. So thank you so much, guys. Enjoy your day. Take care. God bless you.